I want to tell you, my children, about life in a monastery. One day, a tragedy befell a certain monastery. The monks of one monastery lived very carelessly and did not struggle with their thoughts, and the prince demonic spirit realized this. And he thought to himself, what if I test them to see if they are worthy of the kingdom of heaven? And he ordered his fiercest children to go to the monastery and tempt the monks until they lost consciousness. And the demon entered the cell of one monk and saw him gluttonous and pouring wine down his throat and possessed him. A great passion for lust flared up in this monk, and he immediately remembered all the youths and all the maidens. He fell to the ground and began to writhe like a snake, seeking someone to sin with. The demon came to another monk and saw that his thoughts had caused his flesh to move, possessed him, and the monk began to fly like a bee, seeking someone to sting in the flesh with his sting. The abbot saw this calamity, that the monks had gone mad and were behaving in a way unnatural for monks, and took a whip and went through the cells to reason with them. But a demon possessed him too, and the abbot began to whip himself and the other monks, but there was no point. They screamed and groaned so loudly that the lay people thought the monastery was on fire. They had come running with buckets and yokes, only to discover that there was no fire, but rather the monks groaning in the passion of lust. And they saw it, and, amazed with great surprise, burst into the monastery and began to set them on the true path. Then one old woman, seeing an old monk bent over with age, but in the throes of lust, took a running start, twisted around in a leap, and struck the old man squarely on the hump with the yokes. And the old man became like a young man again, and they went together with the nun into the hut, both as one flesh. And the other monks, after being admonished, also abandoned their cells, and went out into the world, took wives, and no longer indulged in thoughts of evil. But the prince demonic one was disgraced, and returned to the underworld. Here, my children, is the story. It is better to live in the world than in a monastery in sin. To whom more is given, more will be asked. Don't take on a burden heavier than your shoulders, otherwise you'll strain yourself and fall, and what's the point or benefit? Better to be where it's safe.